Who am I here with today?
Kelvin Beecham.
What's your career field and how did you get started?
Currently in the National Football League. Got started by playing football when I was knee high to a duck.
So you played football, pro football.
Pro football, yes, sir.
What was that journey like?
It's been a challenge. It's been fun. Uh, it's taught me a lot about myself. Taught me a lot about sacrifice. Taught me a lot about teamwork. Um, but I would say more than anything, it's produced a lot of fun, a lot of memories, a lot of experiences. Those that I would have never thought about coming from where I come from.
Did you have supportive parents growing up?
Without question. Both my mom and dad still live in my hometown. Actually, going there in a couple hours. My head, Texas. Shout out MT. It's actually in between here in Dallas. So I had both parents growing up, super supportive. Got my work ethic from my father and my mother. Um, so I had a really good system growing up.
When did you know you was gonna make it playing pro football?
When they called my name on draft day.
When they called your name on draft day. No, but let's take it back. I'm saying like from the early stages. Like,
I mean, I think every child in America grows up wanting to play professional sports of some type, of some kind.
yes, sir.
Um, but I would say it's not until, for me, it's not until the reality is hit that you've actually accomplished what you set out to go and do and achieve that dream. So, to answer your question, it wasn't until they called my name where it was reality. But there's a lot of hard work put in to get to that point.
Let's talk about the hard work.
Yeah,
You said a lot of sacrificing.
I give you a point about sacrifice.
Okay.
I was reflecting uh, this holiday season. I haven't had the opportunity to spend Thanksgiving and Christmas in my hometown with my parents since I left for college back in '07. Um,
Wow.
yeah. So when you start to put things in perspective, you're either playing, college ball around Thanksgiving, playing in and around Christmas, um, or this year I played around New Year's. So it's one of those things, man. It's a sacrifice. It's sacrificing family. It's sacrificing friends. Um, you know, certain things you can't go to. And even having kids is certain experiences that I'm not always able to have. Son celebrated his birthday while I was playing in Seattle this year. Now it was a great experience for him being in Seattle to celebrate his birthday, but at the same time, I wasn't able to do that with him. So, um, kind of everything comes with a price, comes with a cost.
And how long do you plan on playing professional football?
When they stop paying me,
When they stop paying you? And what team do you currently play for right now?
play well. I'm a free agent right now, but the last 5 years played with the Arizona Cardinals.
Arizona Cardinals. What position?
I played left and right tackle this past year, so played on both sides.
What team you willing to go to, or what team you looking at?
We'll see. We'll see. It's an interesting time in my career.
Yes, sir.
I've played quite a while, um, so location does matter quite a bit. Um, but we'll see. It's a couple weeks out. You got 2 games, well, 4 games, well, 2 games this weekend. Got the big game at the beginning of February, and by the time we get into late February, early March, be able to have some clarity into what things look like.
And on your football journey, what's the toughest challenge you faced?
The toughest challenge I faced was actually blowing my knee out. 2015 ACL, MCL, meniscus, um, and had to reinvent myself as a player. Um, wouldn't change it for the world, but I think that was an experience and a challenge that nobody sees coming, but is one that I think everybody has to endure in some shape, form, or fashion.
And as a football player, what's the most amount of money you made?
You can Google that one.
Google that one.
You can Google that one.
Okay.
But I've made more than enough. I put it that way.
More than enough.
I made more than enough.
Gotcha. And one last question: what's some advice you can give to a younger person like myself? I'm currently 25, or just a younger person that want to play professional football.
Yeah, I think when you think about playing professional football, you got to be excellent at the basics. I say this all the time to a couple of my teammates. You got to fall in love with the mundane, and that is the recipe to have a process to put yourself in a position
Yes, sir.
to be a pro athlete. And I think for young people and young professionals, and I tell this to a lot of young dudes that I mentor, is you got to go and explore, and you got to get out of the cocoon and the vacuum that we live in America. You got to go find ways to explore and see the world, see international business, see other experiences, other religions, other cultures, because that'll inform how you do business later on in your life. So,
And how important is it as a black man to explore out of your community?
I think it's super important because you see the world from different vantage points. You see different pockets of how people do business, how people operate, how businesses and how cash and capital flow. But you have to be willing to take that risk of betting on yourself and doing something that's a lot different than what the norm is. Anybody can, um, sit behind a desk and say that they're doing something, but you actually got to go get out in the world and go work and go move and go shake and go network and go meet people that will help inform some of the decisions that you make. It's not about what you know.
It's who you know.
I would take it a step further. It's not about who you know.
Oh,
It's about
okay.
who knows you.
Okay.
And if you want to take it a step further than that, it's about who sent you. So it's a process of building out that network and continuing to mine those networks, whether they're high school networks, college networks, the friend networks that you may have, the communities that you may be a part of. All those things play a role.
Yes, sir. Well, thank you for the advice, Kelvin.
Anytime, brother.